Once upon a time, there were two mice, cousins who lived in very different places. The town mouse lived in the hustle and bustle of the city, while the country mouse lived peacefully in a quiet meadow surrounded by fields. Though they had never visited each other's homes, they often talked about their lives and decided one day to swap places to see how the other lived. The town mouse was the first to visit the country mouse. When he arrived, he was surprised by the peaceful beauty of the countryside. The air was fresh, and the only sounds were birds singing and leaves rustling in the breeze. The country mouse greeted her cousin warmly and offered him a simple meal of grains, nuts, and berries she had gathered from the fields. At first, the town mouse was polite, but he soon began to complain. "Is this really all you have to eat?" he asked, looking around at the simple food. "There's no cheese, no cakes, no delicious treats like in the city. This is far too plain." The country mouse smiled and shrugged. "It may not be as fancy as what you're used to, but I find peace in this simple life. The quiet, the fresh air, and the beauty around me make it enough." The town mouse wasn't convinced. "I could never live like this," he said. "There's no excitement, no luxury, no variety. The city is where everything happens." The very next day, the country mouse traveled to the city to visit her cousin. As soon as she arrived, she was overwhelmed by the noise and chaos of the busy streets. There were cars honking, people rushing by, and the air felt thick with pollution. The town mouse led her to his home, a cozy apartment in the corner of a human kitchen, filled with all sorts of delicious food, cheese, cakes, and pastries. "This is the life," the town mouse exclaimed, nibbling on a piece of cheese. "There's always something happening here. Food is plentiful, and there's never a dull moment." The country mouse tried a little of the food, but she couldn't shake the discomfort she felt. The noise and the crowded streets made her uneasy. As they sat down to enjoy the meal, the door suddenly slammed open. A large cat rushed into the room, causing the mice to panic. They scrambled to hide, barely escaping the cat's claws. Once the danger passed, the country mouse said, "This is terrifying. I can't live in constant fear of being caught by a cat. The city may have excitement, but it's also full of danger. I prefer the quiet of the countryside, where I don't have to worry about being chased." The town mouse, still shaken, nodded. "You're right. The city can be dangerous. Maybe there's more to life than just excitement." The next morning, the country mouse decided to return to her home in the meadow. She thanked her cousin for his hospitality, but explained that the city life wasn't for her. The town mouse, though he loved the city, understood her feelings. "I see now that the peaceful life of the countryside has its own charm," he said. The two mice parted ways, each returning to their own home. The town mouse stayed in the city, but now appreciated the quiet moments in life. The country mouse went back to her meadow, content with her simple, safe life. The story of the town mouse and the country mouse teaches us that happiness doesn't come from what others have or where they live, but from what suits us best. Whether it's the excitement of the city or the peace of the countryside, the key to happiness is living a life that feels right for you.